Hi, this is Wendy, and today I wanted to share a couple of digital layouts using elements from two of my favorite companies that offer digital kits, Club Scrap and Taylormadecards4u. And I'll include links to all of the supplies that I'll be using today in the description box below. And if you're watching on IGTV, I want you to click the down arrow next to the title at the top of the screen. You'll find the same information there.
I want to do sound effects the whole time you speak.
Okay. Now I've invited my husband Chris to help me out with this video today.
You want to tell anybody what you had to do to get me in here to do this?
Offer you coffee.
Give me a lot of little kisses. It was very sweet.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I had to beg. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how to create the layouts today. I'll save that for another video, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to create a digital element to add to your digital layouts. Or you can print, trim, and add this to your paper projects later.
I don't know how easy this is. I see you in here for hours and hours. It's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But anybody can do this. This is not hard.
Okay.
Now, there is a learning curve, and it's not something that you can just pick up and start doing tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But it's easy.
Okay. I believe you.
Okay, so this tutorial is geared for Adobe Photoshop Elements, but you can use any program that works in layers and using JPEG and PNG file types, and I'll kind of explain that in just a minute. But Adobe Photoshop Elements has a lot of the same features as the Photoshop program. It's just a simpler version and not as many options.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
But you can also use a program called GIMP, which is it's a free program that you can download.
Who named that program?
I don't know.
That was horrible.
I'm sure that's an acronym for something. But
it's
anyway.
bad. Whatever it is, they should change it.
And I'll include a link to that in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the. Let me show you what's in the Taylormadecards4u kit, because it's really cute. Lots of little images here. And the one that I'm going to be using for my digital element is this one.
Okay.
Cute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to minimize all of this.
So Taylormade just makes all these digital images, and then they send them to you, and then you just play with them and make what you want out of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
She collects like vintage images and then digitizes them into these digital elements. So
cool.
Some of those may have been like vintage cards and things like that, and she just collects it into a digital kit.
Cool.
Okay, so this is a JPEG image. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but I'm going to, and it always has a white background. Okay, so I want to make this a PNG image, which is going to have a transparent background, because when I go to select one of these out, I don't want it to have any white around it. Okay, so I'm going to, I already created a copy of that because I don't want to work on my original image and mess it up. So let me grab my magic wand tool, which is the selection tool, and I'm not going to really change any of these default settings except for this one, contiguous. Okay, so contiguous means it's going to select all the pixels that are touching. And if I don't have that checked, it would also pick up pixels that are inside of here too, and I don't want that.
Okay.
So I'm going to click contiguous. I'm going to click on that background. And all I'm going to do is press the delete button. Now you should, if you're watching this, you should be able to see all of my keyboard clicks and my mouse clicks. And this is also highlighted, so you should see where my mouse is going.
Very cool.
Okay, so I'm going to delete that background. And there I have a transparent background. Now you can see these little marching ants here, so I'm going to deselect that. Now I'm going to create a new document. And I want that document to be, I'm going to say 5 by 7, because that should be about the right size. And I'm going to change my resolution to 300 dpi, because the industry standard for most scrapbooking kits is 300 pixels per inch. So I want that resolution to be match whatever the layout I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I'm going to grab my marquee tool, and I'm going to click on this layer with my images, and I'm going to select that out like that. I'm just clicking and dragging. And I'm going to grab my move tool and slide that over onto its own document.
So you don't have to exactly get the corners. It just, since it's transparent, it just grabs that whole little piece right there.
Well, I selected over it, so let me show you again. Let me select, deselect. Okay, this is the layer I'm working on. I'm going to grab my marquee tool again. Now I'm starting up here in the corner, because I want it to be, I want to make sure that I get everything inside of it. So
you don't have to get exactly on the edge of the wanted poster.
I could.
But you don't have to.
No. All right, so I'm just kind of going on the outside.
Yeah.
Because all the pixels, I mean, it's transparent on the outside, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then I just drag it over it, and then I can pull that over.
Got it.
Okay, so I don't need that anymore.
Neat.
All right, now I want to add some of the images from the Club Scrap Coffeehouse kit, the digital kit. So I want, and this is what it had a ton of elements in there. And I'm going to use this one right here, and also this little image of the coffee beans. So I'm going to grab those. I'm going to hunt for them for a second. All right, let me start with this one first. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Since the background is transparent, I can just select that out. So I'm going to grab the marquee tool here, and I'm going to just drag it over my image. And then I'm going to get the move tool and slide that over into my document. Now I'm going to get rid of all of this on the outside. So I'm going to use my magic wand tool again. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm on that layer here in the layers panel, because I don't want to change this background. And I'm going to click on the part that I want to remove. So I'm going to click out here. And it actually did a pretty good job selecting it. Now, all these little places here, those will not be removed, but that's okay because my background is kind of distressed looking anyway. Right. And I'm going to blend it in just a few minutes, so you're not going to see that. Okay, so now this outside is selected. I'm going to click delete.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, now I want to get rid of this inside the handle, so I'm going to make sure this is on add, and I'm going to click inside there, and it did a pretty good job there too, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that as well. And then I'm going to deselect, and there we go.
Wow.
Okay, now I can resize this, but you can also see those little pieces in there, but that's okay because I'm going to blend it in a minute. So I'm going to resize that a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that my move tool is selected, and I'm going to hit Control T, and then I'm going to grab one of the corner handles and then just slide that in, and it makes it a little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm going to click the green check mark to commit the changes. Now I want to add some text. So I'm going to create a new layer because I don't want it to be on top of this one. So it's going to be on a layer by itself. And I'm going to click my horizontal type tool, and I'm going to click on my layout, make sure I'm on that layer, and I want that to say morning coffee. So I'm going to, I've already chosen my font earlier, but this is a list of my fonts. And I want the Nashville font because it was pretty darn close to what this one is. So I'm going to click that. And this is going to just type in a horizontal line. If I wanted it to be inside of a text box, I would just draw the text box first. Okay, so I don't care. I'm just going to make it horizontal. And I want that to say morning coffee. But before I do that, I want to change the color of my font. And I want it to be pretty close to this one. So I'm just going to kind of pick an area right in the middle there. And it's that dark brown.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to type morning coffee. Okay, and I can resize that also, but make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to highlight where it has the size down here in the type area, and I'm just going to click my up arrow, make it just a bit bigger. All right, now I'm going to make my whole layout a little bigger so I can see better. And I'm just clicking Control Plus, and I want this type to look like this. So what I'm going to do, it's already the size that I want. So I'm going to simplify that. So I'm going to make sure it's highlighted in this layers panel. I'm going to right click and I'm going to simplify the layer. And now I can change it and do things to it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to blend that. And when you blend, you can choose one of these blend modes. This area is going to make it lighter. So if I hit screen, see how it blends all the way into the background. So I want that to be darker. So I'm gonna click the multiply button. Okay, so it's almost the same color there, and it's already distressed because the font was like that already. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is do some dodge and burn. So this tool right here, the burn is gonna make it darker like this, and then the dodge tool is going to do this lighter stuff.
So whoever made the card obviously did this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna click. I'm gonna do the dodge first, so it's gonna make it lighter, and I want it to be. I'm gonna adjust the highlight colors. Okay, so the like wherever the light would be shining, where it's a little lighter, I'm gonna make it lighter. So I want it to look like this at the bottom. So I'm gonna make sure that that's selected in my layers panel, so that's the only thing I'm changing. I've got my tool selected here. I want my brush to be a soft brush because the outer edges are going to be like kind of faded out.
Okay.
If I clicked a hard brush, it would be like real, you'd see the streaks and it would not, you wouldn't like it. Okay, so I'm just going to click and drag over everything. And you see how that's getting lighter there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. So I'm just gonna
lightening at the bottom of the text.
Lightening at the bottom.
Wow.
And just click and drag, click and drag. And I may do a little bit up here too, just to... Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is to burn. So I'm gonna click the burn tool. And I think I'm gonna go with the shadows here. And also want my brush to be the same. Same thing, click and drag. And it's darker up here at the top, so that's what I want to do here. It doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of eyeball it how you want it. And I'm doing it in different areas so it's not uniform. And like some of these letters have the streaks down the side.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, now also want to do a blend mode on this coffee cup. So I'm going to click that layer, and same thing. I think I'm probably going to use that same multiply, but I'll just show you what it looks like. Overlay, I mean, it blends way too much. So screen, kind of washes everything out. So I'm going to stick with that. And it actually looks pretty good. Okay, so I move that where I want it. Okay, now I want to add those coffee beans in as well. Let's see, I have to find them again. There they are. Okay, so they're already selected, and I'm gonna grab my move tool and move that onto my layout, and I'm gonna resize those because they're too big, and resize that by the corner handle, not like that. And I want to blend those as well. So let me hit that multiply button again, and there we go.
Got it.
And that is my little digital element.
Very cool.
Yeah. And so the next step would be to, I'm going to put all of that, like merge it all into one layer. So I'm going to hit Control Alt Shift E. And now I can't change this. So when I move it, everything's going to move all.
It's all on one sheet now.
Yeah. So I can print this and cut it out, or I could just save it as its own little image.
Now, can I see the previous layout, like the full card that you did?
The layout, the scrapbook layout?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So that's where you got the little wanted morning coffee.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yes. Anyway, so in a future video, if anybody's interested, and be sure to leave a comment in the description box below. If you're interested in seeing me do a complete scrapbook layout, I will be glad to make one of those videos.
So they can leave a comment about anything.
Oh yeah, on YouTube or on IGTV.
Like how to achieve world peace, or
Yes.
You'll be able to answer that.
Yep.
Oh, that's
not
pretty
really.
confident.
I can't.
No, you can't go back now. You already said yes. Ask Wendy anything and she will answer it. That's what she just said. So.
Well, you can ask me pretty much anything you want about this digital scrapbooking.
You're
probably
crawfishing now. You're
I
going
can probably
back.
handle that.
You're going back.
You need some coffee.
I do. Wanted some morning coffee right now, so
right.
I'm ready.
Okay.
It's a good little layout.
Thank you. Okay, so all the supplies will be in the description box below the video and on IGTV. So if you're interested in any of this, check them out.
What about the secret stuff that they need to make this that you're not telling them about?
Like what?
All the stuff, like you don't ever give them all the details.
It's too much.
No. I'm saying there's certain things you leave out that when they take all their time and do it, it doesn't look as good as yours, and then that way you can laugh at them and be like, "I'm still better."
I would never.
You don't know
that.
my tricks.
I would never do that.
Okay. All right.
All right. So
very nice.
that's that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I had a great time.
Thanks for coming.
I'm ready to drink some coffee now.
All right.
man.
Let's go have some.
All right. Love you.